chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Life moves pretty fast.
Oh, sorry. Everybody knows this song, man.
Yeah.
Is the name of the song? No, his name of the song is
The
Treasure
movie
now.
is from the movie is a million tears. That's why I said.
Yes, and if he had said Treasure, I would have known what he was talking because I know the song now. Everyone knows the song.
Okay, Oris. Okay.
There's no okay anything. Wait. Who is this? That's right. I hated this song in school. God.
It was everywhere.
Just, yeah, it's too sucky.
And it was too cheesy.
This is the first time since actually walking into this world. Even before it's on my ear.
That's pretty loud.
Also, you're playing from the. You know?
Is volume good now? Check.
It's fine, but it looks like the quality of it's not from here now. It's from here, right? It's not the same thing.
No. What do you mean the quality?
You got this is treasure that I see.
You were close to me yet I did not know the love that I
But it's not the system. It's not here.
It's the production of the stuff itself.
Yet I couldn't feel it when I
But usually you're playing songs from here, aren't you? This is from a different. Probably not so that because it's a
I didn't know that it was
WNA.
our hearts speaking to each other when the breeze of love blew you to me, my love. I thought it was an everlasting love, but it hurts me to see you go. When you said you were going, I cried. When you left me alone, I wish I could hold you close once again to my heart. You made me cry. When you said you were going, I cried. When you left me alone, I wish I could hold you close.
All right. What's going?
Again to my heart. You made me cry. When you said you were going, I cried. When you left me alone, I wish I could hold.
Nobody has any plans to make you cry, but from 2006, welcome Kate Henshaw and Emeka Ike with the movie A Million Tears. Did you watch that movie? Do you have memories of it, or at least the soundtrack? Because I know that it was everywhere. For some people, I know someone who actually made it their sound no their ringtone. Those days that you'd have ringtone all around the place, it was the ringtone of someone, and I still remember that vividly. For some it was so sweet, others it was so cheesy, others it was sad, and I don't know what it is for you. So you're officially welcome to the show that discusses movies, series, animations, documentaries, what's happening in the movie industry, what you should watch and what you should not watch, your recommendations, your watch list, and so on. Welcome to Film Focus on Smooth 98.1. Every Friday from 11 till 11:55, this is what we do on the Smooth Station. My name is Oluwaseun. And we are live on YouTube. That means that you can go see us and drop your comments, be a part of it, save it for later. That is at Smooth 981 FM Lagos, at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. It's always a pleasure to not do this alone, even though I know that you're there, but I'm talking about the studio. So joining me as always to give his undiluted, unrestrained, unfiltered takes. This man will not be gagged. You can't even hold him back. He says it as it is. And he's not hating. Trust me, he's saying it from a place of you need to be better. And so this man is one who you cannot put mediocre in the same sentence with him at all. He's a writer, he's a lover of movies, a critic of them as well. Please welcome Edo's very own Oris.
Thank you, Michelle. That's quite impressive. I feel like if I didn't know this guy, I would like to meet him after this. Well, yeah. Good morning. Yes.
Yes,
Good morning,
it's
Lagos.
morning.
And I guess good afternoon and good evening to those who are not in Lagos.
And in case I'm sounding like a broken piece of Grammy record, please forgive me. It's because I have a little cold. Yeah, some records are broken, even though they are Grammy winning. Yeah. So Oris, welcome. How have you been? What have you been up to? What have you been seeing and watching?
It's not been one of my classic movie watching or screen watching weeks, to be honest. Just a little too busy.
Ooh.
So yeah, so I haven't seen I haven't seen a lot. I think I'm still stuck in the past at the moment.
Ah.
I have to show up in 2025 um, one of these days, but for the moment, I am still stuck in the past.
Which year?
2005.
Whoa, you're 20 years behind. Which movie
Yeah.
now?
No, it's not a movie. Still
Series?
Yeah, still series.
Ah, okay.
Yes, sixth season. The sixth season of Mad Men is where I'm still at, episode 7.
Okay, what gets you locked into a series? What makes you want to finish this thing?
I think to speak specifically now about Mad Men, the quality of everything, the production design, that's kind of how it looks. The cinematography, even, there are things that I don't notice normally, just because of how good it is with this particular series. I'm like, okay, well, that's interesting. There's something they do where somebody walks in, two different things. This is about editing now. Somebody walks into a room and maybe say the scene cuts, and the very next thing, somebody's opening a different door. There's a certain level of poetry, even on the level of visuals, and of course, the writing is impeccable. And I mean, like, impeccable. I saw the, I think it's one of the episodes of season 5. In fact, the entire season, that's before this one. I'm in 6 now. And it ends in 7. So thank God, finally. I'm going to be through eventually. But yeah, season 5 of Mad Men, my goodness. Just extraordinary. I'm just like, how do you people even do this? And of course, whenever I see things like this, unfortunately, because of the way my brain is kind of, structured, I always think back like, my goodness, which year now? When shall we be able to behold this excellence in my country?
Hey, here we go again.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, but yes, it's yes, this is the broken piece of Grammy record, actually. But I think it's important, that we aspire to the highest, what's it called now? The highest standards. I'm not entirely comfortable with discussing with some of my friends who are in the industry, and they tell me about, oh, but have you seen Ghanaian movies? I'm like, no.
What?
That is not.
What?
I'm not concerned with mediocre stuff. I'm not concerned with, okay, this is the barest minimum, so let's compare ourselves to that. I'm like, okay, this is the greatest. Can we, get somewhere close? And anyway, but of course, it doesn't seem reasonable to think that we are going to produce a Mad Men for Nigeria, anytime soon.
One day,
yeah.
Oris, one day.
One day, no, see, look, I am also hopeful, but I see too many excuses for us to be, what's the word? For us to get there. If you keep giving excuses and saying, hey, look, we don't have money, we don't have sense.
Oris, what was that?
We don't have skill. I'm just saying that. I've heard all kinds from my friends who are in the industry, And so it used to be that they said money a lot. That used to be the major refrain from Nollywood, that, oh, okay, why isn't this film or this series quite as good? And the first thing they tell you, oh, we don't have money. And then lo and behold, the guys from the US show up, and I think for 3, 4, 5 years, these guys were flush with cash. In terms of, if they were doing a movie for 100,000 naira, it became 500,000 naira. At least that's the budget we heard about in the industry, But somehow the quality of everything, and I mean from acting to production design to editing to especially visual effects, seems like they were all stranded back in the 90s. I always give the example of the greatest film according to the MVCA, Lishabi. And I was saying to somebody that, look, Lishabi's visual effects are really no different from those who are aware of old Nollywood. I knew a particular visual effects house called VFX house called House of Macro. House of Macro's visual effects, this is sometime in maybe say 2000, 2002, 2003. Those effects from then are pretty much the equal of what we are doing in 2025. Meanwhile, the budgets have ballooned. So I'm just like, how do you make sense of this? Anyway, but yes, my point anyway is this: Mad Men is so good, and what has kept me still there is the quality of the writing, I'm always thinking to myself, okay, what happens then to these two guys? What happens to this lady? What happens to this older lady? So there's just a way they've crafted every character to make you want to say, hey, let's follow this person to the very end. Even the lead character, a guy called Don Draper, is interesting, but he's not even enough because everybody else around him is. You know what? I know I should just I should stop speaking in such rhapsodious terms. But yeah, I'm really so impressed by the series. It gives me so much joy.
You know, as you were talking about Nollywood and how the excuse is no longer cash, I remember somebody's comment on social media about the quality of movies, even when it looks like there seems to be the inflow of cash. And the person says sarcastically that don't you think that part of the money is supposed to be kept for the premiere when they are doing Shomano Yeton?
Oh my, well, I don't know. This saddens me, frankly, because yes, you see sometimes. I mean, I've been to a bunch of premieres in my own over the past maybe 2-3 years, and my goodness, it's really quite a thing. It can be quite
Wow.
yeah,
I mean,
glamorous. That's the word.
oh,
Quite
you have
glamorous.
the budget. So, and you know when it was funny, it was sad, it was sarcastic. But when you think about it, when you see how people show up, I know
Yeah,
that I
but
mentioned
but
it
that's
here.
not fair. But that's not fair, though. I mean, of course, it's Yabis is Yabis, but it's not fair in that the people who are showing up are not part of the production, are they?
Eh,
So,
and so I'm
so it's not
saying the
fair.
amount of planning that goes
I
into
goes
it
into that.
is as important as the one that goes. It almost feels like when they were making the video, they were already making the premiere and the kind of things that will go on. So yeah, maybe they were already setting aside the Shomano and some budgets.
Well, there was the thing that Basketball said last year that caused a lot of wahala in the industry, where he was saying
Yeah.
that, a lot of the budgets is actually going to stuff that has nothing to do with the movies.
Mm.
So I get that, but yes, let's not get into all of those, the dark underbelly of Nollywood.
Yeah. Well, you can join this conversation by sending your messages to WhatsApp, and the WhatsApp line is 0809 444 0981. Again, 0809 444 0981. That's the WhatsApp line to send your messages to, and you can also maybe dial the number or send a voice note to it. So this is a part of the show where we tell you what's making the numbers in the box office and also tell you what's trending or what Nigerians have been watching as touching the films and the series on the different streaming platforms. So from the red to the orange to the blue and to the red that Oris thinks it's unfair that we can casually mention them. YouTube.
Yes. I really do think so. It's not right.
Okay, well, so let's catch you up to what's happening in the world of the box office first. Last week we did touch on it, and Oris again said that he should not even try to go to the cinemas when Yoruba epics or epic Yoruba movies are there, because Uri in 4 weeks now has crossed the 300 million naira mark.
Can you imagine? That's almost 500 million. It's at least
Close
more than
to,
it's,
yeah.
yes, but it's at least above 250 million. That's 250
Yes,
million.
yeah.
It's massive, man.
You think that's massive? Well, let me let you know that Labake Olododo went to the UK beyond Nigeria. So
Yeah.
so far UK and I think is it Sweden now or I don't remember, but UK and another country that I can't seem to pull up now, they've gotten 25,300 euros, pounds. Yeah, it's pounds.
Okay,
That
pounds.
thing always confuses me.
No,
Euros and pounds.
I totally understand.
So yeah, they've gotten 25,300 pounds, and they said it's the Nollywood highest grossing Nollywood epic film in the UK. And honestly, I don't know if I'm debating it.
I just think, I mean, it's a PR stats, but
Yeah.
it doesn't mean a lot, to be honest, because first things first, not a lot of epic movies
That's why I said I don't know if I'm
actually
debating
like
it
do anything
or even make it out there.
internationally.
Yes.
Exactly. So in fact, I remember somebody was telling me that when the distributors are thinking about what could go out there, they are making a lot of decisions about it, and the Yoruba epics are not one of the top films for to move out there. I think that this lady's film did better, but of course not an epic, so it's not the same category. What's her name? Funke Akindele's
Which one?
Everybody Loves Jennifer.
Okay.
It also
Oh, yeah.
went to the UK, and I think it did better.
She did more than the UK. She did Canada as well.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that was almost 6 digits or so. Yeah. So this hasn't quite gotten there. But
Yeah.
in terms of, I mean, the epics, they figure out a way to like make it look big. I mean, congrats to them anyway.
Yeah, and still about the epics, the one that will be out later though, but it's not out yet, is Tony Abraham's Iyalode. That will be in June. you ain't
You know
you ain't
how
had enough.
you know how a few years ago, maybe even now, people were discussing Marvel fatigue.
Mm,
We need to get Yoruba epic fatigue, please. Somebody needs to accelerate
Not-
that because
not yet.
man,
not yet.
apparently not yet. It's almost a 5-year dominance, to be honest. We have to. I mean, at some point, it has to come to
So
an end.
so exactly where I'm going to go, that for
Yeah.
it to come to an end, the reign has to be toppled by something else.
I do not think necessarily in Hollywood, for instance, Marvel movies were toppled. They just got tired. They just were no longer getting as much revenue from it as it used to be.
Because
so it doesn't
because
not necessarily. I don't think.
other things,
Yeah.
even if it was in bits and pieces, other things came up for their attention to be chopped down compared to how they would get fixated on it. That's my theory.
Yeah, I mean, well, let's see. My own hope, Shai, is that look, whatever comes or doesn't come up. Please, I'm just tired. Help me, please.
Well, Owambe Thieves has now gotten 200 million naira in Nigeria, and we have a Final Destination Bloodlines has gotten 94.9.
I need to see that.
Yeah, in Nigeria and Ghana.
How much?
94.9 million naira.
You see, not a lot of money. I guess all of us who are millennials who remember the franchise haven't quite gone to the cinemas to support. I should change that. Remember, Oris. Please change this.
Well, for the new Avengers Thunderbolt, gotten 200 million naira in Nigeria and Ghana. This is
See,
according to
that's the real,
stats from Film One.
This is the real Marvel fatigue, actually. See?
Meanwhile, the one that opened last week, My Mother is a Witch,
Oh,
did
yes.
26 million naira.
Well, congrats to me. I haven't seen that. I should probably try to see that. Me hasn't given me a lot of joy over the past 20 years, but maybe, just maybe. Irabo was speaking kind of highly of it last week, if I remember.
My Mother is a Witch.
Yeah, I think he said it was at the premiere and it was like it wasn't bad or something.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll see it myself because, yes, Irabo sometimes. Thank God he's not here.
Ah,
I can stop him as I like.
thank God this is on YouTube and I will play it back. I will tell my mommy for you.
Exactly. Anyway, yeah, so you remember sometimes I'm like, I'm not quite sure about what you have said. So I have to go and confirm how good the new Niyi movie is. My Mother is a Witch. Like I said last week as well, it reminds me of a particular title from the 90s. Kenneth in Ebue, an Igbo man doing a Yoruba film. And it was Yami Aje or something like that.
I don't know.
No, but how do you say that in Yoruba?
Kini.
My Mother is a Witch.
Yami. Ajeni Yami. Ajeni Yami.
So it cannot be the other way around.
Yami ni Aje.
Or something.
No, it can't be.
It cannot be.
So if you say Yami ni Aje, it means it's still literally. So that means it literally means my mother is a witch, but it's more like a specific witch. So it's not grammatically correct in Yoruba.
Okay.
So you know the way you have grammatical constructions in English that
Of course.
yeah. So that's the same way. But Ajeni Yami, meaning my mother is a witch. But if you take it to the other one, it's literal, which might distort the meaning and is not grammatically
Anyway,
correct.
since this is not Yoruba focus, because I know what she just said, I have no idea how this flipping it that way means something different.
I know.
Anyway.
And finally, on the box office scene, Mission Impossible is making some possible mission because Final Reckoning is gotten 123 million in Nigerian box office so far in the opening week. Oh, yes, The Beloved Sinners. I believe it's now out on digital and people are loving up on it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
But not here, obviously.
I don't have the specifics of that. I know I saw it on Critic Ob's page this morning. So it's gotten 710 million naira.
Kugla is Nigerian. I feel like the guy's juju, there's a juju for Ryan Kugla somewhere in the Nigerian cinemas because I think consistently he's delivered really, really amazing figures. This is more than 500 million.
Yeah, star boy.
Yeah, honestly. And funny enough, I doubt very much that people know who he is.
I don't know. No, people don't.
I don't think Kugla has name recognition for a lot of Nigerians, but somehow his movies do quite well here.
You remember the conversation we had? What do Nigerians love? That's hard to tell. So we just love what we love. And
Yeah, but we do have some people that we know, I believe, right? I mean, of course, everybody knows Tom Cruise.
yeah,
But I don't think Kugler has that kind of name recognition for us.
because
Recognition, rather.
because he's behind the scenes sort of.
Yeah,
So
but
it's
if I say
hard.
Tarantino, I feel like out of 10 people, maybe 3 people would know. I don't think one
Are
person
you
would know.
sure?
Out of 10 people who watch movies,
Are you
and you say
really sure
Tarantino,
about that?
I feel like 2 or 3 would know. But I think maybe
Maybe
one or
it
knows it,
depends.
nobody
It depends
would
on
know
the
Kugler.
audience that you're referring to.
Yeah, I'm saying a movie watching audience.
The older one, the one who's got a great musical, or sorry, film movie taste, but will know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. A Gen Z will not know Tarantino.
A Gen Z, I wish we could ask. A Gen Z film goer wouldn't know Tarantino.
I don't. Yeah, I want to argue that a little bit. Unfortunately, we don't have Gen Z's.
We don't have Gen Z listeners. I wish, because this will be. I think you're right, proportionally, but I suspect that out of 10 Gen Z really avid movie watchers, maybe 2 or 1 of them would know.
Maybe,
because
yeah.
This film did decently well, and it even got like a few Oscars. So if you follow the Oscars, what's the name? The one with Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, yes.
Yeah.
I think, because of that, people might know. But you're right. In my generation, I think everybody would know just because he's such a huge.
Now that you mentioned Leonardo, I've not seen a movie by him in a bit. Not that he's not made. I'm saying in terms of.
But to be fair, you're also fair. If you
He's
say that he
not.
has not really made, that's also true. I think
I feel like the guy is gradually retiring, or maybe he's picking his movies.
He's always been picking movies. Always.
Well, true.
Leo has always maintained. I mean, because by now, if he was my brothers in Hollywood, he would have done like a Marvel movie by now. But he still hasn't done that. Probably would.
Has he been invited?
I'm sure he has gotten those offers.
Maybe one day.
Leo is kind of like Leo is too big, So Leo, Brad, maybe
Denzel.
I feel like Denzel would do it.
Are you sure Denzel has not been approached before?
That's a good thing to think, actually. I think because of the way Hollywood is structured, I do not know, because they already have L. Jackson. There's one black man already.
I hear you. You don't have to say it. I hear you. Capital letters.
I don't know how many black men are getting opportunities like that at that level. So if they have L. Jackson, like, do we still need a Denzel? So I don't know. So I can't tell. But I would believe that Leo has been approached.
Speaking about that, it reminds me of this guy who we later saw an interview from him last year, Jimon Honsu.
Oh, Jimon Honsu, yes. He was saying something about payment and stuff, right?
The systemic repression.
Oh yeah, but he's been in a couple, right?
Yeah.
I think he's been in a couple.
Yeah.
But then again, he doesn't have the profile that L. Jackson or what's his name or Denzel have.
No.
So it's not quite. But
he could. He could.
There's also Don Cheadle too, who took over from Terrence Howard in the what's Superman? What's the name? The Iron Man part of the MCU. Yeah. Then this guy that became Captain America. Anthony Mackie. Yeah. So what the point anyway is that there are very few black men in the MCU.
I was about to say Falconer.
Well.
All right, so let's get to some of the quickly. We're going to tell you what Nigerians have been watching on the streaming platforms, and I'm going to start with YouTube.
Jesus, who cares about YouTube?
People. Apparently, people, because in 7 days, this one has done 1.9 million views.
Is that big? I feel like on YouTube, if it's not 10 million, nobody cares.
No, you don't. So you don't understand the amount of people who sit to watch a movie. For it to get this million views, I think it means people are watching it.
Yes, I get it. What I'm saying is that on YouTube, a Nollywood movie getting this in 7 days doesn't seem to be particularly massive. Those guys get a million in 2 minutes. That's my plan to get it.
I understand your point.
Is this that big? I don't know. I mean, to be fair,
it's not that it's so big. This is just in recent times. Remember, this is trending. So this is in recent times, at least in a week or less than a week.
You can see that. So 3 movies above a million, all of them less than 7 days.
So
YouTube is not real life.
So one is from Omoni Oboli.
She's back.
Drama TV, and it's titled Starboy. Number 2 is a series that is Kiki TV. So it's called The Clash, The Housemaids 3, episode 3 and 4. That is second on in terms of trending. Then Blessing Obasi TV, The X in Extra. That is such a name. It's gotten over 1 million views in 5 days. I'll jump and skip to this one that's gotten 810K in 6 days. A Simple Request, that is Bimbo Ademoye, Mofe Duncan, Efirile, and so. And the final one, because we're doing top 5, Oris is in the house.
Jesus.
Natural or Nothing is the title of this one.
What is
You have
B Daniels TV? My goodness.
Yeah, everybody's got a TV
And,
on
yeah,
YouTube now.
anyway, I'm coming out. So guys, please follow me. Oris TV.
Specify the coming out.
Very funny on YouTube. Thank you very much. I'm not. Don't let it go. Don't let police arrest me and come and give 15 years, please. That is not my coming out. Thank you very much.
Netflix. Oops, dropped it. Number 1 on top 10 movies on the Red app, Sikanda. That's something straight out of India. Number 2 is Heats the Case. Number 3 is Breaking.
Sorry, where's Heat the Case from?
It is something Asian as well. I think it might be India, but I cannot say India because I'm not quite sure of it. But Arjun, it could be India, it could be Bengali, it could be Bangladesh.
We'll go with India.
Yeah.
We'll go with India or Asia.
I'll go with Asia. So that's Heats the Case. That's number 2. Nigerians do love your Asian things.
So you see, this is part of the reason why it was so difficult for us, at least for me, to stand by Nollywood sometimes. Look at what is happening. I doubt very much that there's Nollywood movies that are showing up in top 10 this dominantly in any other region but Africa. I hate it. Anyway.
Number 3 is something from 2022 that just got recently added to the platform. John Boyega, Michael Kenneth Williams, Breaking. And number 4, Fear Street, Prom Queen. I've been seeing
that's
a bit.
New, right?
Yeah, it's new. While number 5 is Knock at the Cabin. That is Dave Bautista.
Oh, on the Red app?
Yes, on the Red app. You want to check it out?
Yeah, because I mean that was last year, 2 years ago. What's his name?
2 years ago.
Shyamalan's
Exactly.
film. Decently well. I thought they went to the Blue app.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's go to the series that Nigerians are watching. Top 1. No, number 1.
Okay.
I was going to say top 5. Number 1 is Sirens. Number 2 is The She People. Oh, sorry.
How many weeks would you keep making this mistake? Don't let Anna Perry show up in Smooth FM.
She the People. Do you know why I'm laughing? Because I already arranged it in my head. I thought it was going to come out well. Unfortunately not. She the People. Number 3 is Bets. Number 4 is Forever.
Wait, number 3 is what? Bets. Okay,
Bets, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bets.
Exactly. And number 4 is Forever, while number 5 is Dear Hongrang.
What's that from? Where's that from?
China.
My goodness. So you see what's happening, right? Once the Red app left here, the Asians are dominating. I wonder what that says about our taste.
Well, we'll go to the Blue app. Number 1 is A Working Man. Number 2 is After 30. Number 3 is The Accountant. Number 4 is G20. I'm surprised.
That's a more the Blue app seems to have a more, what's the word, eclectic mix than the Red app.
So, well,
I've heard Nollywood now. I've seen like Asia. I don't know Asia.
So they just put everything together for the top.
Okay. Series and
everything.
Okay. I see.
So number 5 is Another Simple Favor. And finally, let's go to the Orange app, and they have separated their movies and their series. Now, where are you? Top 10 series. Number 1, or we're doing 5. Number 1 is Something Out of KwaZulu Natal.
My people.
Koka, The Curse is
it new? Do you know?
I think it is.
Okay.
I think.
Is it a series or a film?
It's a series.
Okay.
And still out of South Africa, Mpini. That is number 2 for the series. Number 3 is Something Suidosta.
Where is that from?
I have no idea, but it's given Asian vibes, as Gen Zs would say. Number 4 is The Real Housewives of, not Lagos, Durban. So South Africa is dominating it.
Wait, and that's interesting. So South African content is consumed this much in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Number 5 is SWAT. That's for the series.
Wait, so there's not a single Nigerian project on the top 5 in the top 5?
It's not there. For the series, that is. Now, I'm not sure where the movies went to. I can't seem to pull it up. So
Yay, can go on to
that will be it. Oh, found it.
Oh,
Duh.
goodness.
Number 1 is the American Society of Magical
Negroes. It is not a slur.
Yeah.
It's not a slur,
Number
it's
2
not a
is
slur.
Twisters. Number 3 is The Roast of Helen
Twisters.
Zeal. Number 4 is Ghana. Morgan Freeman, Ghana. Number 5 is Strangers. And we're done. That's it.
Yay.
What have you been watching? Tell us and share your watch list with us, and let us know on WhatsApp 0809 444 0981. Again, 0809 444 0981. Now, let's feast. Nigerian Television Authority is in talks with top Nollywood TV producers and showrunners to remake beloved classics and commission new original content, according to them. Oris, you don't look impressed.
Yes, I am not impressed. Only
Why?
because I do not know that. Well, it would have to be. It would depend on a lot of things. The chief of them being how attractive, in fact, how well known are these so-called beloved classics to the population as we speak. According to the other, was it census or something? More than Nigerians, more than one, whatever percentage are like less than 20 or something. If you are 18 today, I doubt very much that you've heard anything called
Never.
Supple Blues.
Some of them 1993.
Cockroach at Dawn, The Village Master. I'm like, nobody knows about any of these things. So I'm not quite sure what the plan is. And if you're older than that, and maybe that's the idea, if you are a millennial, who would probably know, older millennials especially, who would know more about some of these projects. I think they even came too late in our history for them to mean so much, except for stuff like Checkmate, but I'm not sure. I think a lot of the energies and budget should be going towards, can we create stuff that can compete as we speak? Because if you're going to show up with this project, you're not going to just competing with just, I don't know, other Nigerian projects. Am I going to abandon Mad Men, for instance, to watch Cockroach at Dawn in 2025? That is highly unlikely. Am I going to abandon Squid Game, and see, I don't know, Supple Blues? I honestly doubt that very much. So unless, of course, their plan is to, can we capture the late, almost dead, generation?
That is morbid.
It is morbid, but it's true. Look, my dad will know some of these things. My dad is not 50, he's not in his 50s. So I'm just wondering what exactly is the plan here. So I'm not quite sure it's a very smart idea, although I want to see it work. I feel like NTA dropped the ball over the past, I don't know, maybe 2 decades or so. So if they can come back some kind of reckoning, that's fine. But I do not know that going back to projects that many Nigerians do not remember at all is the way to go. Develop new properties and let's see what happens. These people are trying to make it look like our projects are like Marvel, that go back and say, hey, the comics from 60s or 70s. I do not know that those things have enough resonance enough for 2025 to matter. But look, I wish them the best. I just don't expect the best.
Well, for context, what Oris is talking about, among the classics that are slated for revival is Bassi and Company.
My goodness.
And this one aired from 1986 to 1990.
Oh, God.
It was filmed in Enugu. On the late Cockroach at Dawn, which he mentioned, premiered in the 1980s. And he ran for God knows number of a time. There you had the late Sadiq Daba, Tola Awobode, Ene Oloja. Then another is The Masquerade, that is from 1983 to 1993, ran from mid 1980s to the early 1990s. And truth, I don't know if I think it will just be, it feels like we want to give you nostalgia TV, but I don't know if the ones who watched it then are even interested in going back to it. But
Yeah.
to be fair to them,
Yeah.
they said they want to commission new things and they want to be original in the storytelling. So they commissioned this one that's already shown. I don't know about it. It's called Last Giddy, and they want to return to original Nigerian programming according to the story. And so Last Giddy tells the story of, what you would typically see about Lagos, the hustle, the bustle, someone's life, and the likes. It's a series. And they said it captures fun, laugh, real life moments, and a renewed look at Lagos through the lens of NTA's long awaited return. So original co-produced programming.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm very happy with the idea of bringing NTA back to reckoning. I'm just arguing with the method, at least for now, until I guess we see it and maybe it makes sense. I just don't know if that's a thing. I mean, I wish them the best.
We are going to be here to see how these things turn out, and we do wish them all the best, and we're here for good and quality and excellent airing of classics and new stories. All right, so before we come back to this one, it's about a limited series that is on the Red app. Let's talk about this one that we were talking about before we came on, and an actor, that's Godwin Nnadiekwe, who said that he had to take some medications, he had to take care of himself after, should I call it an improvisation of a kick?
It was just like a callous misbehavior from Zubi Michael, to be honest. That's exactly how I think of it.
Yeah. But there are times that people improvise on set and they
but
come
not
up with
to hurt somebody. I mean, like, I'm fine if you're improvising, I don't know, a line, 2 lines, 3 lines or something, but when it's like a stunt and you're not prepared for it, it feels a little,
over the top.
It's just bad behavior. That's all I can say. It's really just bad. There's no euphemism to describe what happened.
Okay.
You have to, I wish it was a case of you're improvising with your scene partner. You're going to give him a kick.
In the chest, to the chest. So here is what he wrote on social media. He said, just wanted to share an incident that happened on a set a few days ago. This isn't to call anyone out, but it's a serious reminder to prioritize each other's safety on set. During a scene, I received a kick to the chest from my colleague who wasn't part of the script or directed by the author. Sorry, directed by the director. It caused me serious pain. Had to get medication for my chest to feel better today. I did all these by myself. No assistance. When we're working without insurance policies or readily available first aid, unexpected physical actions like this, even if accidental, can have real consequences. But I'm going to first aid that is not readily available. How do you shoot without that? Who do we need to be arresting?
Well, you saw the thing from last year, yes, with the Junior Pope's death. So if you could cross whatever without everybody wearing life jackets, so this doesn't even look as drastic as that was. So yeah, I don't know. No, it's not a Nollywood problem, to be honest. It's a Nigerian problem. So Nollywood sometimes just mirrors society that we are in. So I don't want to say, hey, film industry, no. It's really just a Nigerian problem. So if we are going to solve this, it has to be institutional. We have guilds. That's another problem too. We have guilds. I wonder what the guilds are doing. There's DGN, there's AGN, there's AMP. Shape up, guys. Shape up.
This is one of the few times I have to agree with Oris.
Oh!
Look
at a man's enemy shall be found beside them in the studio. How friendly.
About doing things shabbily, especially when life is concerned. Even if you're not going to do insurance, even if the least you can do is to have first aid, things could go wrong. You don't want to jeopardize the life of people, so please, let's do better.
And let actors, please, if you're going to do a physical stunt, rehearse it or at least inform your partner. Don't give an unexpected kick to the chest. It's ridiculous.
Well, we're going to talk about Kevin Costner's on in Hollywood.
Okay, fair.
Fair enough. All right, so let's talk about, as he's fondly called, Blackie Chan. That's Niyi Akimolayo.
I need to know that's a legitimate nickname for Niyi.
You didn't know?
Nope,
that's why I said fondly. I think it's reserved to
only Shion and people that know him personally.
No, okay, I don't know him personally.
Me, come to this studio.
So he was in a conversation. He was on a TV station's forum, youth forum, that was themed pressing issues affecting Nigerians' youth. That was on Thursday, and he talked about the movie industry. And he said that when the big streamers pulled out of the markets, that is, the big ones, the red and the blue, that the filmmakers just woke up and saw emails, and we were like, this isn't just some random companies. The government is aware. The government asked these people, how come the government isn't aware of some of these changes? Because they made a big shift of how we are now doing the production that we're doing. And part of what he said is that, number one, the government needs to help. And also the devaluation of Naira did play a part in them pulling out. Do you agree?
Well, I'm hoping, of course, Nee should know more about these things than I do because he's a very respected insider in Nollywood. So I hope he's right. But I think that there's more than one issue, I think. So maybe there's a sense in which the devaluation played a role because, of course, suddenly, if you're charging 2,000 naira and it probably was giving you $5, it's not giving you $5 anymore, it's giving you $2. And these are mostly American companies. So the naira doesn't mean a lot to them if they cannot be certain about what the rates are. So I get that. But like I said, I think earlier, I alluded to what Basketball said last year. There's also the fact of how well were the movies being produced by their local partners doing internationally. Because first things first, I'm not entirely sure that both the red and the blue app, their plan, their basic, I don't know, revenue plan was to what's the word? Harvest all of the money they possibly can from Nigerian content from Nigerians. I believe that part of it was also like, oh, can we also get these movies to travel? Unfortunately, I'm not sure that even a single project traveled enough for them to justify their investment. So, and when that is the case, I'm like, okay, we probably should be thinking of how to pull out. If today we are watching Squid Game in what's it called, in Africa, and watching it in the US, I think that it's not particularly necessary for South Korea, where it is from, to subscribe massively because they are sure that, okay, this travels, so it's going to begin to get the revenue from elsewhere, even if it's not from the local market. Unfortunately, we couldn't do that, and apparently our local market was about 169,000. The math doesn't favor us. So there might be the question of what's it called, of evaluation, but I think it's a little bit broader than that.
A movie that traveled is My Father's Shadow, and it got a notable mention, a worthy mention, a beautiful mention, or whatever mention that you want, special mention at the 2025 Cannes Awards. But, well, we didn't get any award, not even from the continent, I believe.
No, there were just 3 films from. There are 4 directors, but 4 African directors, but only 3 movies from not Nigeria, sorry, from Africa. At what's it called at Cannes this year. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's unfortunate to be honest, none of them actually won anything. But one of them, the Nigerian film, which is our first film to ever get officially.
Yay, got a special mention.
Exactly. So I think for us, it's something. 2 days ago, I was in an interview with a Senegalese filmmaker, and he was telling me that when he saw that Nigeria got the special mention in the same category, it was an Iraqi director that won the award, for a film called The President's Cake, I think. Anyway, the guy was making a joke that he felt like the Nigerian director is going to do a lot more with special mention than the guy actually won the award. I think it was kind of like a yabis in a way that, Nigerians, we just do too much. Everybody else in Africa feels like the Nigerian is kind of overbearing. So he was saying that when he saw it, like, okay, this guy, just because he's Nigerian, even if he didn't win the award and he just got a special mention, the kind of noise that they're going to make around it is going to be more than the guy from Iraq who actually won the substantial award. I'm like, you know what? I know you're trying to yab also, but I shall take it as a compliment because we have to do what we can. But for me, I think more than that is I hope that this says something to filmmakers who are not necessarily thinking heavily about the local market. I think we need to have filmmakers whose plan in their own life is like, what, can we conquer the international scene? It's kind of like how you have Davido, what's his name, Burna Boy and Wizkid, who are doing quite well here. We also have teams who I do not think is particularly big in Nigeria, frankly, but is doing incredibly well in the US. Exactly. Maybe in a way, kind of like Amy Alade, who I'm not a personal fan of, but who isn't doing quite well here. But in the Francophone countries, she's kind of like a big star. So you need people like that who are like, okay, Funka Kindele and Moabudu and Kuya Folai and all of these people, they are fine for the local market. But who exactly are their equivalents out there? So this guy, Akinola Davis, getting into Cannes means okay, maybe there's some possibility. Getting special means okay, there's a possibility. So maybe someday somebody actually wins an award at Cannes, then it means even a whole lot more. But I'm hoping that this tells people that you know what, you can dream and it's possible.
Great. Now, on a final note on Nollywood, let's talk about the one I mentioned earlier that is on the Red app. It's called The Party.
Wait, it's a series?
Yes, it's a series.
Why did I think it was a film?
No, it's a series. A 3-part murder mystery series. That's what they called it. Where everyone becomes a suspect when a young, successful, and newly married man dies an unexpected and dramatic death. I mean, dramatic has been thrown. They said committed suicide or was thrown down from the terrace or something like that. Okay. It's quite star-studded. And when I say star-studded, I'll give you some of the names there. You have Shafi Bello, you have Bimbo Manuel, Yomi Fashlanso, Chief Femi Branch. Is it Chief? Oh, I do not know. Shegun Arinze. No, I was just reading it out and
why did you even put Chief there?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I mean, he's the actor. It's just Femi Branch. Of course, he might be a Chief, but anyway.
Shegun Arinze, Chukwuka Jude, Kehinde Bankole, Mide Martins, Kunle Remi, Ayola Ayolola, that I've not seen in a bit in a movie. Yeah. Well, this is a series, to be fair. James Gardner, I think it's Ghanaian, Uzo Arukwe, and others. So, indeed, star-studded.
Yeah, that's a lot of well-known names. I don't know they're all A-list though, but at least
they are known.
They are known. The A-list part I don't know about, but yes, they are quite known. I mean, it's today, right? What?
Yes, I already downloaded it to check it out.
Oh, you already downloaded it? Look, Lagos, you was listeners. She doesn't want any of these things. So
because I checked the trailer.
And it was good?
No, I checked the trailer. It was promising.
Okay, so you want to see whether it
aside that, some people that I don't mind watching their movies, Uzo Arukwe, Kunle Remi, especially in things like this. Did I mention Kelechi Udegbe? Because he was one of those that make me download.
So you know that was she would just like the fine boys.
No, I like the people who are fluid. Versatile. If Blossom Chukwujeku if I had seen his face there, trust me, I would have been sold. But there are just some people that I know embody their characters so much.
One single woman,
Ansi Shafi.
Okay. Anyway, but yes, I didn't realize it was. I thought it was a film. No, I think I also saw a trailer. I wasn't quite as impressed, but people I respect were impressed. So I will probably give it a chance. Where is it showing? Is it in the Red app or which?
The Red app. The Red app.
The Red app. Okay.
Not YouTube. The Red app.
So is it the Is it binge watch? Is it like the entire 3 or are they...
Yes, the entire 3 are there. Now I don't know if it is limited, if that's everything or there's still more, but they said a 3 parts, so we're going to take it. Yeah, that's it. Because going by what I have here, where is it again? I can't seem to pull you up. No, it's gone.
What is gone?
Okay, so the first episode is 44 minutes. The second episode is 48 minutes. The third is 43 minutes. So I think...
Well, to be fair, I mean...
that's the length of a movie.
Yeah, I mean, not really, but...
Okay, a Marvel movie. Yeah, altogether.
50 times 3. Okay, about...
It's not even up to a Marvel movie.
I think... There's been a difference on the Orange app. 2 years ago or so, there was a particular series called DJ. Which was also like an
original.
Yeah, one of the originals at the time. I didn't like it. I won't lie,
Why?
So I felt again one of those things. I think there's a lot of sometimes for Nollywood, people are confusing depth for boring. No.
Oh, I get you. I totally it's like,
get this thing is just boring. It's not deep. It's boring. That's what it is,
Yeah.
And assuming that because it's supposed to be, because it's slow and I know people are talking like they know English, suddenly it's not that it is something worthy. But no, the dialogue is poor. The cinematography is not well, it's probably shiny, but there's no real depth to this thing. So don't fool me and say, hey, this is supposed to be great, so it is not. So that was my major issue with DJ. I felt DJ was taking too long to get to its point, and I wasn't enjoying the journey to get there. I think I could only watch maybe the first 2 episodes before I just said, you know what, I give up on you guys. So, and again, there was another film by a guy called Tabanga in the industry. It was more like another mystery, like a room where there's only 2 guys, discussing God knows what. And then there was Landline recently, which is like a time loop. It's in the blew up.
Yeah, I saw your comment. I don't know if it was you, but your Film Efiko's review on it.
Oh yeah, it wasn't someone else. But I kind of agreed with what they were saying. So these movies are kind of based on some kind of mystery that needs to be solved. We have never succeeded in doing any of them well. So the hope will be that it's The Party, that's the title, right?
The Party,
I hope The Party changes that. But frankly, so far, when it comes to writing a modern mystery or like a mystery generally, I do not think that we've succeeded in doing it, that it makes sense from the beginning to the end, where you watch and like, okay, this was always going to be the answer. We didn't cheat to get there, which is always our problem. We're going to be like, we want it to be the woman who killed the man, and so we're going to cheat are always there. So I hope that doesn't happen here, and I'm looking forward to. I will see it eventually. I'll see it.
Eventually, you will.
Yeah.
Okay, let's cross over to Hollywood now and talk about Kevin Costner being sued by Horizon 2 stunt performer over unscripted rape scene. This complaint was filed on Tuesday, and Devin Labella claims that the union and contractual rules were breached when she was allegedly subjected to perform an impromptu scene of sexual violence without an intimacy coordinator.
This is a very touchy subject, especially because over the past, of course, since Me Too became a thing, there have been intimacy coordinators on almost every set, unless they were specifically requested to not show up. I think in the movie that won Best Picture this year, Anora, they said Nikki Madison, who won Best Actress, was like she didn't need an intimacy coordinator. But I guess in this case, the directing team or the production team took that decision by themselves and did not invite one. And so here we are. So sometimes I just stick by the rules. I think maybe that's a lesson to be learned from this. Like, you just don't want this wala. Stick by the rules. Let everybody be fine. Because it feels like she was ambushed. It sounds like she was ambushed. Like, this was probably in the script, but she expected the regular rules to be taken, but they didn't. So I mean, I hope they figure out a way to settle it, because maybe it's not malice. It wasn't intentional, Somebody was just doing Ovasabi, and that's how you get here.
I think there is more to that, because according to that publication, I believe from Variety magazine, they said that she's also suing the film production company for sexual discrimination, harassment, and the creation of a hostile work environment. And this is why. She said that Labella faced retaliation after she reported the incident by not being called back for subsequent work on the Horizon series, and she was never hired again by the film's stunt coordinator, with whom she had worked previously. So that's part of the reason.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess that's like the Jara to this story. This is what I always say sometimes. Like, if you've done something wrong, you should be trying to just placate the person who you have wronged, so that things just don't spiral. I make the example of what's his name, Didi and Cassie. Cassie's lawyer actually met Didi and was like, you know what, we are going to take you to court. However, if you pay us so and so amount, we will let it go. And Didi, who I think should have known what he's done to this lady or whatever it is, should have just like, you know what, let's pay up and let this thing go. Bro said no. Suddenly they took the thing to court, and then the day after he settled. I'm just like, you're an idiot. And of course, after that, look at where we are now. So I guess that's the same thing here. People complain, listen to it, but oh well.
I think in addition to that, I was just going to say it's part of the reason why some people, especially when it's sexually related, they don't speak up, because they dread and they fear being cancelled. There is one. And secondly, especially as watching Didi's case, in cases where you have always gotten away with something, you sometimes don't think there is a need to do what is needed or what's needful.
But this is a direct threat. I can never understand the Didi thing. I think it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean,
ridiculous does not even qualify. It's crazy. Well, let's move on to lighter matters. Jackie Chan, he said that if they don't hurry up, they probably will be 100 years old, Chris Tucker and him, for them to make Rush Hour. Did you see a clip of where they got reunited on the stage and he jumped on him? He was so happy. I think
Oh, Jackie jumped on
yeah,
Chris.
Chris.
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen
He
that.
you
I
know,
must find it.
the kind of jumping that your legs go up.
He's a short man. That's why. He's a short man. So I'm not even surprised at
He
all.
was happy. It was like when you go home and you leave your puppy behind and then you come back home. That was how it was.
Oh, but to be fair, Chris has also been not quite in circulation, so I can imagine that he actually hasn't seen him in quite a while, and they
Yeah.
probably had fun because Russia. I mean, for at least the first two parts, I
And you know,
absolutely love.
in that video, he was talking about how they were initially when they met, that they didn't like him.
Yeah, I know. Yes, I heard that.
Because you know Chris Tucker talks too fast, and Jackie Chan said that it was not that he wanted to be withdrawn, but by the time he was done, that his brain was still booting, translating his English to Chinese, and so that was why he
Yeah,
was.
that was the I think on the cover from way back then.
Yeah.
It was fastest hands in the east means the fastest mouth or lips or something in the west. So yeah,
Makes sense.
yeah. I don't know. I
Are you
hope
looking
it's
forward to Rush Hour 4?
I just hope it's good, because the guy who did the first two parts, I think maybe even the third one, if I can remember, Brett Ratner, has been cancelled. So I'm like, a lot of why those first two parts were as good as they were was because of Brett. I'm like, who's going to direct it now? So I don't know if we can still have the greatness of those parts. So I don't know. I would see, because I have no choice, to be honest. This is clearly my generation. So whatever happens, if they say Rush Hour 100, I would have to see it too.
Well, I don't think you have the same enthusiasm towards Avengers.
No, I don't. I definitely don't.
So I guess for the likes of Oris and everyone who's in the same shoes, Doomsday has been pushed forward, literally.
Oops.
Because Doomsday has been pushed to 2027.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, more like 2026 actually. It was supposed to be it was supposed to be earlier. So Doomsday was supposed to come, I think, in May. Yeah, 1st of May 2026. Now it's going to be pushed to 2026, 18th of December, while Avengers Secret Wars, that was supposed to be released on the 7th of May 2027, is now pushed to 17th of December 2027. So Oris, Doomsday has been pushed for you.
Yeah, well, I'm not I do not care so much, so they can push it for whatever they want.
They still have more in the works.
It's Marvel, of course. It's an entire thing, but look, I don't care.
Finally, if you're a fan or you were waiting for the biopic, Michael Jackson's biopic, likely it's been moved to
What kind of
2026.
title is that? That's a terrible title.
Yeah. Is
Yeah, is that not okay? Oh, biopic likely to move.
I said likely. I said
Shell is the problem.
No.
Here. She's read his headline wrongly.
no. I said
Yeah, of course.
moved to 2026, and then I paused and said likely. Intonation changed.
Nobody agrees. But actually, it's called Michael. Praise Jesus. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's 2026 or 2027?
2026.
Hmm.
So they said it will likely debut on the 1st of April 2026. But fingers crossed for that one. And that's the show for today. Thank you, Oris. It was enjoyable. At least we didn't yank out each other's hair. You don't have hair, do you? No, you don't. Maybe your cap.
Here we go. You see, this is why I would attack you when I get the chance, by the way. But in any case, yes, it was a pleasant show. I do miss Irabo. Come back.
The one who you don't trust is film taste bud and recommendations.
I said all the time. I can't even all the time. But yes, I vibe with Irabo at least 85% of the time. So we are cool on that level. But yes, I'm still not back on Instagram. Those Zuckerberg and company.
Yeah.
Still haven't given back my
You're not going to leave without letting people know what you should watch for today.
Oh, that's a good yes. I think what is new in Nollywood? What is coming?
You're asking me?
Oh yes, of course, yes. On the Red app, I'm always like, give people the chance. Check the first half or maybe the first quarter or something of the first episode. And if that's good enough, then I should probably try to finish it. I'm going to try to finish it. God help me.
We'll talk about
Yeah,
it.
so there is that. Since I'm a big Nollywood fan, and because of course, ah, based on all of us, this is the action guy of our time. If you can see Mission Impossible, I think that's also going to be a good idea. I really would like to hear what Nigerians think about this last installment of Mission Impossible series.
The final reckoning.
Yeah, of course, we know that because Tom Cruise is immortal, I will not be surprised if in 5 years it's like, you know what, maybe we should have a Mission Impossible 9. Like, I can never put it past Hollywood.
So if that's the case, what's the difference between Mission Impossible and John Wick?
Yeah, right. They're all from the same. You know what? If it succeeds this time, you cannot let it end. So everything in Hollywood is like squeeze the juice.
Yeah,
Once you
milk
can
it.
squeeze it,
No more.
Exactly.
Thank you for
Yes, I'm
listening.
sorry.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm still on Twitter, so it's catch Oris. CATCHORIS. I'm not on Instagram at the moment, but I am on Twitter.
You can catch him on the streets.
And no, please, that's the one thing you shouldn't do. Which is why I should try my best to not show my series too much on YouTube.
Too late.
Oh well, fair enough.
Thank you for being a part of the show. Next week we'll go again on Film Focus on Smooth 98.1. And you know it's a Friday, the last Friday in the month of May 2025.
That's true.
So it means that we're going to be doing the classics, the golden oldies as always, on the Casbah from now. My name is Oluwaseun.
Hi, my name is Afolabi, and you're listening to Smooth 98.1.
Oh, Lord.
Love
Who's
music,
Afolabi? Wait.
love life.
Afolabi.
Our production guy.
Yeah, where is he? I've not seen him in a while. Yes, I said.
No, he's
Like
not.
everybody
He's
else.
still here.
I've not seen him in.
Your time's not been the same.
But it's a production guy. His time should be every time.
Maybe.
I don't think.